Monday morning, back on the grind. I did a vlog last week, uploaded it I think on Thursday of my work day in life on Wednesday. Got loads of good feedback, so I'm definitely going to do more of these vlog style videos. I've been putting a lot of educational stuff out, which does well too, but that one had really good feedback, so I'm gonna make this one video about a little bit of work, a little bit of nutrition, and I'm gonna try and film some of my upper body training session when I go to the gym. Lush weather is back. There was a storm on Saturday, which was mad. For anyone who lives in Dubai, you will know that whenever it rains, everyone loses their heads and there's no deliveries. I actually went out and ran 10 miles on Saturday morning and then the storm started, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, the weather is back. I need to get that tan up because I'm looking pale. But got up at 7, didn't set an alarm, I just let myself sleep in. Blackout room is a new protocol that I've been told by my coach to put in. I'd kind of been doing that already, to be fair, but had a really good sleep. Not the best recovery on my Whoop because I just worked quite late last night, so that's something that I need to change to improve my sleep routine, is to set some stricter boundaries and cut off my work earlier on. But yeah, today I've just been doing some Instagram stuff, a little bit of admin. We had a couple of new clients sign up last week, so I've been setting them up today. Biggest win from last week, 2 really good clients from LinkedIn. If you watch my vlog, probably about a month ago, I explained that we put a new sales process in for LinkedIn and it started to work, which is amazing. It's exactly the sort of clients that we want. Professionals, corporate workers, people that are just driven and will do the work. So that is great. So I'm definitely going to look to scale my LinkedIn outreach and sales now. So that's really good. But first meal of the day, it's 10 o'clock, so a little bit later than I would have it normally. But I've just got, I think, 4 whole eggs, a couple of egg whites and some salmon. No carbs in my breakfast. My first meal is, again, something that I've been implementing for the last week since starting with my new coach. And I'm just not that hungry today, to be honest. I had a lot of food over the weekend. So I've got a couple of calls, some check-ins to do. And then I have a call with Andrea, who works me, helps me with Instagram. And then I'm gonna have my pre-workout meal at about 12:30, so not that long, to be fair. But I need to get some carbs in the system, and I'm gonna go and train chest and back, get in the sauna, and then check-ins all afternoon. Consultation call tonight, and then that is it. So I'm gonna try and video some clips from my session, and I'll go over that. Just had my second meal, about to walk to the gym. So I'm doing about 12k steps a day at the moment on average, which is less than what I was doing when I was doing my fat loss phase, but it's nice, to be honest, a little bit less pressure. But went for a walk this morning, and I'll walk to the gym and back, and that'll probably have me at about 10k, and then I might go out for a walk later on, more just to break things up rather than actually to get steps. But I've just been lying on this bit of kit here. See that? If anyone knows what that is, it's called a so right, and basically what you're doing is lie on it and it releases the psoas muscle, which is a hip flexor under the abs that can get very tight if you do a lot of running and sitting at a desk. It's very painful, but if you can release it properly, it feels really good. So I'm gonna walk to the gym. I'm gonna have some pre-workout today. Don't usually take pre-workout, but I'm feeling it today. I just want to absolutely smash it. I've got the majority of my work done for the day. I've got a few check-ins to do later on, and a couple of calls. So I'm gonna smash it, hit it hard, get in the sauna, walk back, and then finish off. But yeah, I'm gonna get some clips of the training session and run over what I'm doing, because I've got a new block of training at the moment. It's high volume, but it's really good. So I'm gonna run you over my session from Monday. It's Thursday now, so I'm gonna dive into why I'm doing certain things in this workout, certain movements. There's a couple of exercises from my warm-up, and also a couple of my main compound movements, the ones that I am trying to focus on building as much strength as possible. And I'll also touch on diet, body composition, and things like that as well. But I'm just really enjoying putting raw as fuck videos out on YouTube. It's really nice to have a platform that isn't, you know, as polished as I am on kind of like Instagram and LinkedIn. Everything's very formal, so it's good to just throw these videos up here, and I got good feedback from the last one. So doing some barbell rollouts here. This is focused on strengthening my core, really engaging my lower abs, trying to extend my hips at the bottom and lead with the hips. Obviously there's quite a lot of upper body work here as well. You're also getting a really nice stretch on the lats in the back end part of the movement there, which is why I've got a narrow grip as well. It's going to help with my upper back mobility. That's why it's in my program, and also to try and, as I say, strengthen the lower abs as well. This was the second part of my warm-up. So essentially this is a banded lat pull down, which doesn't look hard, but if you actually sit in this position, it's called the Z press or pull position. It forces you to tuck your tailbone under. And it's actually very challenging if you're a little bit restricted in the upper back like I am, and like most people who spend a lot of time at desks are. As I say, most people will shoulder press on a machine, or they'll do it back supported, and very few people actually press completely vertically. So when you put yourself in this position with no support, it's very challenging to stay upright, and I would urge you to give it a go. But really good upper body warm up here. So 20 reps, did 3 rounds of this warm up. There were a couple more exercises in there as well, but they weren't very interesting. It was just like a lat stretch. And moving on to, I believe this was the first main compound lift of the session. I was training in a different gym today. Usually I do a chest supported T-bar row. However, this gym doesn't have that much bodybuilding machine equipment, so this was the closest alternative, and I'm fine with doing that these days with my training. Like, as long as I'm taking my working set to my main compounds a couple of reps away from failure on a very similar movement, like, I'm going to progress, I'm going to build muscle. At the end of the day, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not super obsessed about using the exact same bit of kit every week. I like to train out of different gyms. So chest supported horizontal row here, choosing to do it single arm just because, like most people, got one dominant side, which for me is it's weird. My left side is actually more developed, but my right side is stronger. It's a bit bizarre, but you know, I am very even in terms of strength on both sides. So descending rep scheme here, 4 working sets. I believe it was 1 set of 16, then a set of 12, then a set of 10, and then a final set of 8. Increase the weight, increase the weight each set. And I think my final set pretty much pushed it to failure. And I believe this was the penultimate working set. So I put on a fair bit of weight here. I was happy with that. It was a really good workout. The next compound movement was an incline press variation. So I think I mentioned earlier on in the video, I'm in a high volume block of training, and what my coach Fred will get me to do in these higher volume blocks, i.e. not strength blocks, is we will do lots of different strange variations of kind of traditional movements. So you can see here I'm doing an incline press, but we're doing 5 reps underhand grip, really, really hard to get your shoulders into this position, to externally rotate them. So it was 5 underhand like this, and then you'll see in a second it was 5 neutral grip presses. So you can see I slightly internally rotate, I think here, 5 reps there. So obviously starting off with the more challenging one, so the underhand grip is the hardest, and then neutral grip is kind of the second hardest, and then traditional pronated grip, which you'll see here, is the easiest. But by the time you've done 10 reps on the other 2, this was pretty challenging. So this is a really good way to target the muscle, the pecs, the upper pecs, from different lengths and loads, so that when you go back into more of a strength focused block, I always find I perform really, really well. It's a bit of a different style of training, but it works really well, and I'm getting really good results rather than just sticking to the exact same movements. And then the final exercise that I videoed was a lat pull down. So again, strange variations here, but really quite fun. Just nice to do different variations. So it was 3 mixed grip, 3 underhand, and then 3 overhand, or it might have been 3 mixed grip, 3 overhand, and then 3 underhand, you can see here. But went pretty heavy on this. I can't remember which set this was, but I did 4 working sets, and I'm pretty sure my final set I was like you know, 1 rep away from failure, which is where I try and take most of my working sets these days, because, you know, I'm a natural lifter. I've been lifting for almost, 13 years now. So I really have to take my sets close to failure to see any sort of strength progression and any change physically. So I really push this. Had the option to go pull-ups on this, but I chose to do pull down just to really try and isolate the muscle. And I am trying to kind of develop my physique a little bit at the moment. I do think there's a lot to be said for using machines as opposed to a variation like the pull-ups, where I do find that my biceps tend to take over. But that's going to be the end of the video. As I say, going to keep these videos super raw and just pump a couple out a week. So I will see you in the next one.